tell me a little bit about your childhood. I guess what was like a memorable moment that you could kind of tell me, or just anything that you like to kind of share from your past?
Yeah, when I think about my childhood, I think about looking back on it, having a lot of really great role models and mentors, and I was really fortunate of that. I had both sets of my grandparents, all of my youth, and each of them had their own really great lessons to share. My father's father owned a gas station and repair shop in Detroit when my dad was a kid, and my uncle took it over, and turned it into a detailing shop later on, like by the time I was born. But he was definitely someone that had knack for going into business for yourself, and I think my dad learned a lot from that, and he passed that on a lot to me. And my grandfather was a very proud. My mother's father was a very proud veteran. He was a hardworking guy that knew how to build and fix anything, and he taught me a lot about that. And so I had a lot of role models from my grandparents, and both of my grandmothers were just the sweetest ladies. My father is the Italian side, and my mother's the Irish side. So my father's mother was just always cooking up something great, and they had these big family dinners on the weekends. And she was just a great spirit, and very tied to her religion, which was great for me to learn from. And my mother's mother was also a great cook, and she loved baking. She made these great pies and cakes and stuff, and she was an avid golfer. And so when I was a kid, she taught me how to golf, and I learned a lot about like patience and persistence, in that. And as I got into like middle school and high school, I started getting into more aggressive sports where I could hit somebody instead of a ball. But I learned a lot from that. And until she was 90 years old, she walked the course and played. And she was a really, really great golfer. So I had a lot of really great role models and great experiences. Now, both my parents were two different personalities that worked really well to like shape who I was. My mom was incredibly strict and very certain about her beliefs about how someone should act and live, and your path to life and that sort of thing. And I definitely rebelled against that as I got a bit older. But looking back on it, all of those lessons were incredible, and I wouldn't change anything for that. She's also one of the most caring and like supportive people, and would do anything for me. At the same time, when I was younger, I felt like I was just looking at it as like all these rules and restrictions, and I can't do what my friends want to do. But all of that guidance helped create a lot of resilience and a lot of focus and strength and organization in my personality. My dad was a little bit more laid back, but the thing that I learned the most from him was really about like negotiation. If it was like his phone bill was incorrect, or if something got messed up on an order, and he had to call customer service and have a conversation with them about figuring something out, he was very polite, but also really knew how to like converse with someone to be able to get the end result that was necessary, and taught me a lot about that, a lot about like customer service and conversation and that kind of thing. And he's also just a huge music fan, so that was definitely something that like pulled me towards the music side of things. He built motorcycles when he was younger, and he was building a car, a old race car when I was a kid. And he had this radio out in the garage and a bunch of CDs and vinyl records and tapes and stuff, and there would always be music playing, and it was always different kinds of music. So that really opened me up to a real wide variety of different styles of music. So I mean, there's so much. I go on for days about the level of mentorship and guidance that I had as a kid. I was very, very fortunate for all of that. But those are the things that just come to mind off the top of my head.